Hello, and welcome to the Pottervision podcast, the podcast where every single week, bar one in the past 2.5 years, or however long it's been, we look at a chapter of the Harry Potter books and we have a good old chinwag about them. We chew the cud. This week we're on episode 91 and we're on chapter 34 of A Goblet of Fire, Priori Incantatem. I, Lukas Kirkby, am here with none other than Tom Larrinson. How are you?
I'm great. I feel golden. I feel like a god. I feel like syrup is flowing through my veins. The Earth's sun is giving me all the energy I need. I feel like I could jump off a building or crash a car.
Oh, don't do that. I know you feel like you can. Definitely don't try it.
I didn't say I intended to survive.
But there's some drugs that make people feel like that. They think they're invincible, don't they? And then they do like crazy things thinking they'll survive anything.
We don't need drugs. We get high on life.
Hey, we do. Our endorphins come from talking to each other.
We don't need to fill a balloon with nitrous acid. We fill a balloon with God's air and inhale that in and out until we pass out.
Exactly. Look, you don't have to buy laughing gas. You can just breathe in and out your own carbon dioxide and soon you'll be passed out. Hey? Lots of tips here from the Pottervision boys. Hey, we've got an interesting setup today, haven't we? Because those nasty people at the European Union, because of Brexit, have not allowed me to use my data anymore without paying extra money. And the internet connection's not too good. So we're having a good old-fashioned telephone conversation, aren't we?
Yeah, the thing is about, I don't know, you moving to Germany, it's like God, or maybe the Germans, someone is trying to stop the podcasts. On paper, it works, we'll just do it remotely. We'll do a video call, like people have done for the past 2 years all over the world, doing video calls. But it won't work. The connection is never good, and there's nothing we can do about it, Your Honour.
Well, I think that at some point we're going to get the right formula where it just clicks.
I thought this was the right formula.
But I don't know, with the way of setting it up. Martina said the other day,
go on.
She said that because my microphone won't work with this laptop for some reason. And she said she was listening to the podcast the other day and it sounded like I was phoning in at a radio show. Like answering a quiz question.
Because you've got your microphone that I think we paid £1 million for.
Yeah.
And you only try and get it to work the day of the pod.
I'll give it a good half an hour before we record to try and do things.
Of the 1,000,000 hours you have in a week, 20 minutes before the pod, and you give it a go and you go, not working again. Got meat.
Hey, but I'm working. It's going to work at some point. We're going to figure out some kind of combination. I think maybe I'm going to get my, because I've got some HD video cameras. I might try and plug my microphone into that and record from there. That could be good. So yeah, we'll figure it all out eventually. But hey, the next time we record the pod, we'll be together in person again, won't we?
Oh really? When's this?
Well, I don't know, but because the stag do's in 2 days, so I'll be in the UK then, so we'll probably record together next time.
Yeah. You staying at mine?
Yeah, I might do. I'll organise the dates with you.
Yeah, all right. Well, the listeners might want to know the dates.
You what, sorry?
The listeners might want to know the dates.
The listeners might want to know the dates. Well, it'll definitely be from the 26th till the 28th, because that's when we've got our live podcast recording on the 26th. And then we've got our preview show in Manchester on the 28th, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have you been up to?
Hey, well, I've got some very exciting news. I've accepted an offer on my house.
Hey, that's good. How much for?
Oh, I don't think I like to say. Don't know. Feel a bit weird saying the price on the pod, but I'll tell you that it was. I got £2 more than I originally arranged with the other person who pulled out. So all's well that ends well.
He got $4,000.
Yeah. So listeners, it was £1,002,000 accepted an offer for. So all being well,
That's why
the
he's
cog
been
should
able
be
to
turning.
retire at 25.
I'm living the lap of bloody luxury. Well, I'm still trying to get my work visa sorted, but I've got a meeting on the 25th, I think, of July in Manchester to see the consulates, and I've got
Is that
all my
next week?
documents ready. Yeah, it's next week, so it's all very exciting. So hopefully I can finally get the ball moving. And because they won't even let me do this language course until I've got a visa.
Well,
I
that's
can't even
Germans for
learn
you.
the. Yeah, I didn't like to say that, but you could be right.
Just work illegally.
Yeah, I'll just work illegally, I reckon.
Start delivering pizzas or have a little car boot sale at the end of Martinez Drive.
Hey, pepperoni pizza! Right, can you hand it over now, please? All right. Just so you know, it's green bits and not actual pepperoni. Yeah, yeah, we're German. Give it.
Mm.
Hey, Hawaiian pizza. We've ordered 8 pizzas. Can you just hand them all over at once?
Yeah. What else has been going on over there?
Well, I've been getting ready for the old stag do that's coming up in 2 days. There's been some last minute bloody drama.
What?
So, well, Martina's dad's been in Poland doing the house up a bit over there, and he bloody left his passport in Poland. So
Mm.
he's had to pay like €50 to have an express delivery for it to come otherwise, because you're not allowed to fly without a passport. You're not even with ID. You're not allowed into the UK anymore. Another bloody
Yeah.
Brexit thing. And the other thing is Martina's brother's passport expired, and he only found out about that about 2 days ago. So he's got like an emergency new passport as well. But I think it's all sorted now. But
They love
it was
it.
nearly just me and my brother-in-law coming to the stag do.
That'd have been funny. You'd have had all them bloody hostel bunk beds to stretch out onto.
Hey, more chance of getting top bunk, eh?
Don't say it. You never know.
Oh, that'd be sad if there were only like 5 of us in 4 bunk beds and I'm the only one that has to sit on the bottom.
Mm.
Are you a top bunk or bottom bunk kind of man?
Thing is, bunk beds is a kids' game. I
Yeah.
gave all that up. Bottom bunk, you got your benefits. You get a bit of shield from the ceiling light. When I was a kid and I lived in
Yeah.
Spain, we had a bunk bed, and I used to sleep on the bunk bed, on the top bunk. And the
Yeah.
ceiling light was dangling inches away from my face.
Oh, don't
Like,
like that, Your Honour.
the room wasn't tall enough to have a bunk bed in it. So
Mm.
if you're in bed, you're in a little coffin, basically. Fire hazard. Though, just another
Oh,
story of
dear.
my miserable childhood, Your Honour.
Constantly being burnt by the bedroom bull.
Yeah, anyway, what else has been going on with you?
Hang on, I've said 3 things and you've said nothing yet. What's been
Have
going
you
on
said
with
three
you?
things, or have you said you can't work? Martina's family don't have passports, and what was the other thing?
I've sold my house.
And he sold his house. Something you should have done
Yeah.
before you left, lazy bones.
What have you been up to?
Well, they told me at work that I'm losing my job. They told me that on
They haven't, have
Friday.
they?
Yeah, they said in next year you won't have a job anymore, so fuck off. Yeah,
Is
they
that
said that.
true?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Mm.
So when does that all finish then?
I think in like winter, like February, March or something.
Bloody hell. You were asking me what I did 3 times. Oh, all he's got is like he's had some cereal for breakfast or something. He's been made bloody redundant.
I wish I'd kill for redundancy. I don't think there's going to be redundancy packages. What they're doing?
You're joking. They can't
No,
do that.
no, they can. Well, because what they're doing, the they're conniving little bastards, where they're offering you a different job, which is much further away, for worse hours. You got to work Saturdays. They don't have to offer you redundancy, apparently, if they're giving you another job. And there's no parking, so it'd take me 2 hours to get there. And you're like, that's not anything.
Where would it be?
On the outskirts of Manchester or something, but transport links as such. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no parking.
Bloody hell.
Why don't you kill me, Your Honour?
They've done you dirty there, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, this is a good time to tell everyone that we've got a Patreon. You can support us on Patreon.
No,
Send us money.
I don't want
What?
want any pity subscriptions. If you pity me and you're on the Patreon, leave. We don't want your pity money. Do you get me?
I do.
Well, you can have all that pity money, not for me. Yeah, so I've got to find out something else to do, Your Honour.
Yeah, you got to do something else with your life. But hey, as one door closes, another door opens. You know, you might be able to open yourself to a completely new opportunity.
Exactly. That is exactly what I was thinking. You see, I have a life insurance policy, which means if I get into like some crippling disability or illness, I can either have like all my money up front.
Brilliant. Hey, I'll tell you what, I reckon, so that it can be proved as an accident, one of our Pottervision listeners can like shoot your kneecaps or something.
So Snowy will do that.
Yeah. I reckon so. I reckon it wouldn't come to you though. You'd have to go to Brighton, but then he'd shoot your kneecaps for you. I reckon.
I think for the special occasion he would travel, because then that's the perfect alibi, isn't it? I wasn't in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in Brighton and I refuse to travel. You don't make any exemptions? None.
Blooming out. Well, hey, you've said it on the podcast now, so should some accident befall you over the next few weeks, I think they'll be very suspicious over at AXA Sun Life.
What else do I have to say? We've been going through like
you with AXA Sun Life, aren't you?
And what?
You with AXA Sun Life, aren't you?
No.
You not got their over 50 plan?
No.
Oh. What are all them free Parker pens doing at your house then?
You keep leaving them behind.
Hey, he's got me there.
There's been a heat wave that has been going over the United Kingdom. I can't speak for the rest of the world because I don't live there, right? But it's been blooby hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. What kind of temperatures are we talking?
Million. I messaged an electrician yesterday because I need a light fitted. I took my dining room light off a year ago and I realised it was too fiddly for me to get back on. So I messaged an electrician. How much do you think it is to just put up a light fitting?
50 quid?
He's quoted me £72.
Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? That's so specific. But that's how you get away with it. You put like a really specific price so it doesn't look like you've just made it up when you were drunk.
I think he didn't want to do it, so he's like, fucking 72 quid. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, he probably thinks it's not worth his time to drive over for 40 quid or whatever.
I know. I know.
Hey, I'll do it for you for 60.
You can't do it. You don't have a ladder.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
Otherwise, it would have been perfect, wouldn't it?
yeah. That's why, I'm not getting a job in Germany. I keep asking for jobs, and they keep saying, "Do you have a ladder?" So no, no.
You don't
And
have
they
a
say, "You
ladder.
can't have the job then."
Can't have the job. Don't have a ladder.
I'm applying for McDonald's. Do you have a ladder? Can't
Did
have
you
you
ever
then.
work in McDonald's?
Well, I applied once when I was 16,
Do you want to
but
know why they didn't give
because
it you?
go on.
Because you're a student and you were going to leave.
Yeah, I was overqualified for the job.
It's not. No, it's not overqualified.
Yeah,
It's because you're gonna. They know you're gonna leave.
yeah.
They want people there
So
forever.
that whereas now I'm 27, so I reckon they'd have me now. Do you think McDonald's?
If genuinely, if like, I think they would.
Yeah, I can smile. I can say, do you want fries with that?
How's the German language coming along?
It's going well actually. Like obviously, I wanted to join this course, which will have to be done later, but I'm definitely getting more confident talking to like friends and family. I had a conversation with a stranger for the first time because I saw some. There were two kittens and a mummy and a daddy cat near like a farm, and I was crouching down looking at them, and then a woman was on her walk and she came and talked to me about how cute they were and how many small ones there were. And I felt a bit proud of myself because I'd had a conversation in German and maybe she didn't know that I was not German. I don't know.
You live in a fairy tale.
What do you mean?
You were looking at some kittens on a farm. Like that's a children's
Yeah,
story. You crouch
yeah.
down, lay on your belly, with your elbows in the dust, your hands on your face, kicking your legs, looking at kittens, and some German
Yeah,
Frau comes up and says, "They're nice,
yeah,
aren't they?" And then you twinkle your eyes, ding, ding, and go, "Yes, they are." But of course, in German.
yeah. That's true. Actually, it sounds nice when you think of it like that.
I think you not being able to get a visa is just. I think you had this planned all along. Because the thing is about you, you are very meticulous. Like you read the fine print. But I think you've gone. Oh, if I don't do it and I don't tell anyone, I can get a good 4 months out of work doing nothing.
No, no, you've got me all wrong. I'm not meticulous at all. I skim over stuff. I
Mm,
like planning things, but then I think I just assumed it would all be all right when I got here.
mm,
But
mm,
it's not turned out that way.
mm.
Yeah, but no, I've not been a lazy ass. I've been, been doing Pottervision. I've been making me maths videos. I've been, going to Poland and back, helping out with different things,
Where
preparing
can
for
our
the
listeners
wedding.
where can our listeners find these maths videos?
If you just go on YouTube and you search LK Tuition, I think I've put loads up. I've put about 45 videos up already,
So if Marge or
and they're all like,
Shelley or Ginge Pixel or
yeah,
anyone wants to learn a bit of maths, they go to LK Tuition.
yeah, and just look for the channel and I'll be there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, my first few videos were like past papers, and they got loads of views because it was just before the exams. It's all a bit calmer now, not as many because the exams are finished. But I'm just making loads of videos, and then hopefully when the new school year starts next year, I'll have more kids looking them up.
Mm.
Hmm. So apart from being made redundant without a redundancy package, you've been up to much else, Tommy?
Um, what else did I do? I went camping on the weekend, and it's funny when people start, going off about whinging about their things, and you've got a big
Yeah,
deep secret that you don't have a job anymore. And then you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's it. Complain about the weather. Go on.
yeah.
Complain about your son smacking you. Go on. I've not got a bloody job.
Excuse me, my son's an adult son. It's very serious. Whatever. I'm not driving 2 hours to get to work.
Edinburgh Fringe is very soon.
Yeah, we're excited for that, aren't we? First time back with Pottervision for about 3 years.
Guess what we've been asked to be?
Go on.
Let me just get the specific word in. We have been asked to be Lukas, Kirkby, and Tommy Laurie have been asked to be. We are the room contact for the pear tree, main room.
The room contact. What does that mean?
Well, it's about 10 shows a day in that room.
Yeah.
We are the link between all the shows and Laughing Horse.
Okay, fair enough.
If anyone's got any problems, they come to us. If we can handle them, we handle them. If we can't handle them, we message Laughing Horse.
What are all the other shows? If they've looked at the running up, because in the pear tree there's about 3 different spaces. They've looked at all the shows on, and they've thought, right, who's the most responsible out of this lot? Television boys, I reckon. That's
Right,
funny.
shall I tell you what
Hey,
shows are in
do we get
there?
any recompense for that?
No. Okay, so
That's good, isn't it?
before us, we've
Yeah.
got Alpha's All Stars,
Okay.
which looks to be like some absurdist play. We've got
Yeah.
got a man called Badman. We've got a show called.
Man.
So before our show, there's a show called Bubblicious.
I can understand why they picked us now. What are we going for? Badman or Bubblicious?
Something called Hot Boys Bathhouse.
Okay.
We got
Bloody hell.
Life's a Drag. Martin Moore's going to be in there. Olaf Falafel.
Come on. Martin Moore's more bloody responsible than us. I reckon Martin Moore was asked before us and declined.
Yeah. Well, I think... No, I don't know. Well, maybe he's too respected to be asked.
We're in that middle for diddle.
We've
Yeah.
got-
Oh, blooming heck. Can't be bothered answering calls from Bubblicious.
We've got Raoul Colley's compilation show.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
got Paul McCaffrey and Sean Walsh's podcast.
That's a bit of fun.
And we've got Uncle Daddy's Comedy Disco.
Hey, it's Uncle Daddy's Comedy Disco. Yeah, I don't know whether to feel honoured or not about this. What do you think?
I don't think it's an honour, pal. It's a responsibility.
Oh, blimey. So, whose phone number have you given them to ring?
Both of ours.
Oh, lovely. All right, then. And then we'll have to deal with things. It'll be a bit of fun, be a bit of extra work.
Do you know, it'll be stuff like this. It'll be like, yeah, Martin Moore. Well, maybe not Martin Moore, but like, for example, Martin Moore keeps overrunning an hour. And then me.
All right, Bubblicious, let me get back to you.
All right, Martin, with all your big muscles.
You can't see this, but there's a fly on my t-shirt. Video listeners can see a fly. I'm going to try and leave it there for as long as possible.
Hey, that's good. That's a good enough thing to interrupt me with, isn't it?
Hey, for just £2 a month, you can see this fly on my t-shirt on the Patreon version, the video version. Or just wait 3 weeks. He's having a grand old time. It's not moved a muscle.
Damn, what content? What content? Oh, I'm 92
Well, this has turned into
Go on.
You're the one having a Pottervision meeting in the middle of a podcast episode. Oh, by the way, we've been emailed about this, have we?
Imagine a listener. Oh, my favourite podcast. I'm 92 episodes in. Oh, what's it about? It's about Harry Potter. All right, what kind of? So what do they do? Do they read the book out loud? No. For about 10 minutes, one of the hosts whinged about losing his job. They did a bit of admin. Another host interrupted the other one to tell the listeners about a fly. Oh, it must be good
Brilliant.
quality then. No, that's the thing. The quality's bad. One of the hosts can't be bothered to get his mic working. Hey, that's good. And it's free, is it? It's free, but they have a Patreon as well. You can get on that. Ooh, sounds lovely.
Hey, but don't worry. If you wait 25 minutes, they start talking about Harry Potter. Hey, without further ado, would you like a chapter 34 rundown?
Hell yeah, brother.
Chapter 34 Priori Incantatem. So the Death Eaters close a circle around Harry and Voldemort, and he gets them to do a duel. He forces Harry to bow, and he's getting ready, and he starts using Crucio on him, he starts using Imperio on him, and next minute Harry's diving behind a gravestone, hiding. And he thinks, right, I'm not going to be a little boy cowering behind a grave. I'm going to attack him. And he does Expelliarmus. Voldemort uses Avada Kedavra, and they get stuck in the middle, the two blasts of spell. And it's going one way and then the other. And which way is it going to go? Next minute, some ghosts come out of Voldemort's wand. There's Bertha Jorkins one. There's a hand one. There's a mum one and a dad one. And a Cedric, a hand comes out of it. Thing is, Wormtail's hand comes out of his wand.
Well, that's mad.
And then they go, right, look, you just give us a few seconds and then make a run for it. So they all, the fly's gone, for anyone who's interested. And then and then they all rush over to Voldemort, and Harry runs, and he's running to the portkey, and he nearly gets there, and Voldemort's about to do a spell, but he can't reach. So he says, Accio the portkey! And then he grabs the portkey with Cedric in his other hand, and they travel back to Hogwarts. And that was Priori Incantatem.
Priori Incantatem.
Yeah.
Very resourceful of Harry to use the Accio spell. I feel in those circumstances, a lot of the time, I always forget the things, I can do. If I was Harry, I'd be like, oh yeah, magic. Last minute. Like, you always forget that you can do things.
But like we said, I think, in a couple of chapters ago when he was doing the third task, I really feel like he's come together as a wizard this year. He seems to have like loads of tools under his belt. He was doing the Patronus, he was doing impediment charms. Now he's packing. I feel like he's got himself together a bit, and he's becoming, a right formidable opponent. Yeah.
I agree.
Do you know what Priori Incantatem means?
I was looking this up, actually. I Googled it, and it means nothing. That's the thing. That's like a bit of a joke on the listener. Priori Incantatem.
Is it?
It's not even Latin. It don't mean anything. Well, what do you think it means?
It meant like reverse spell.
Actually, yeah, I think it might mean that.
It's that idea of talking bloody bullshit, because they've been going on about the whole book that, Avada Kedavra, you can't block it. It's a curse you can't block. Once it's done, it's done. I think, well, hang on, he blocked it here with Expelliarmus, one of the most feeble spells you learn. How does that combat it? But yeah, the Priori Incantatem is the idea that two spells hit each other like they do in this book, and then they battle against it.
I have to say, my least favourite spell is Expelliarmus.
I know, and it's a bit overused as well, isn't it?
I hate it. I don't think there's a spell I like less. I hate him saying Expelliarmus.
Yeah.
Expecto
Patronum.
And I feel like Harry Potter is on his high horse because he always uses Expelliarmus. He thinks he's better than other people. Like, if I was in that world, I'd be going whole hog of Avada Kedavra.
Yeah, come on, have a go at him with it. Fight fire with fire. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because it's like he's like, oh, I can stop you with this year two spell. Yeah, you're trying an unforgivable curse on me. Well, look at this. Waddy Wazzy.
Yeah, what was he, or even
Flipendo.
what's that? What? Alohomora.
Hello, Hamor. What would that do on a man? Yeah, pointing a Hamora at Voldemort. Did it unlock?
Start spilling secrets.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? I want to sniff my mum's bra. Didn't want to say that, did you, Voldemort?
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
Um, what do I have to say? He's got to battle Voldemort.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, Big Daddy V.
He's 14 years old.
Yeah.
Imagine me at 14 having to battle my worst enemy, famine.
Oh, famine.
Yeah. I hate famine.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? I hate famine.
Or that'd be like you
Yeah.
at 14 having to battle your worst enemy, sick children.
Yeah. Sick children. Yeah. Well, it'd be quite easy to battle sick children, I reckon.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, he's only a little boy, isn't he?
Mm.
I think, well, I don't believe all this rubbish about him being the chosen one and the boy who lived and all that. But unless we're saying that Voldemort is still not 100% strong. Because I was like, Voldemort surely can kill him. What's the problem? But maybe he's not
Well,
back to 100%.
they always like showboating in any like film or story or book or anything. Whenever the villain
Yeah.
finally, well, it's the only way you get to find out more about the villain is if they showboat. Otherwise, what is someone else going to tell you about them? You wouldn't be interested in the
Yeah,
villain if
yeah.
they didn't showboat, would they? I was watching Stranger Things last night, and the villain in that proper showboats for ages. You know, they tells the story about themselves, does a big long speech. I suppose that is what makes a villain interesting. And Voldemort,
Yeah.
like I said last time, it means flight from death. I don't think I said anything different. It means flight from death, which makes sense because Voldemort always wants to stay alive, didn't he? And that's what the Horcruxes are all about.
Yes. And we had a lovely message about that from Marge,
Did we?
explaining that as well. So,
Did
so thank you,
we?
Marge, for getting in touch.
Did we? No, I think it was
Yeah,
me
we
who
did.
came to that conclusion on my own, I think.
Yeah. I very much doubt it.
Um,
Well,
well,
yeah,
you
they're
know,
having. Yeah.
go on.
Well, I was just like the Death Eaters are all like they just seem a bit useless in this. So they all circle around Harry and Voldemort as if it's a fight at school. I was half expecting them to start chanting, fight, 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 fight. Oh, teacher's coming. And run off.
Well, who is the
But it
teacher in
made
this
me
scenario?
maybe Dumbledore turning up.
The police?
The police? Fudge.
Well,
Any
Harry
member
was
of
Harry,
authority.
Harry was praying for the police last week, wasn't
Oh, yeah, police. The police. We want you. We need you.
he? Mm.
And then he's doing all the niceties of dueling, and he forces Harry to bow. And it's a bit horrible that, but I was imagining one of the Death Eaters shouting, "He doesn't want to. He doesn't like it."
I like that. It's funny. It is funny to play with your food, isn't it? He is like essentially a lion playing with a little mouse, isn't he?
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's enjoying every single second of it.
Mm.
Well, he's having fun with his new body as well. Like he's not had a physical form for 14 years. So if that was me, I'd be like dancing around, wiggling my arms around, enjoying myself.
This is one of the scenes that translates really well to film. As I was reading it, I thought, oh yeah, they didn't really change too much in the film, did they? They just maybe might cut a bit of dialogue or whatever.
Yeah.
But they
Well,
kept...
everything, even to like the colours of the wand light and stuff like that.
Mm.
Mm. So he does the Cruciatus curse on him, and then he does the Imperious curse, right? And apparently it feels nice. So Harry's like saying, "Oh, a lovely feeling came over him." But, well, this is lovely, Voldemort. Nothing unforgivable about this. Very nice.
Mm.
It's not unforgivable, is it? That's nice.
It's and also, as we learn early on in the year, Harry is imperious. Is it imperious? Is immune to the Imperious curse, isn't he?
Oh yeah, because Moody tried it on him, didn't he?
Moody tried it.
Or
He's like, let me
someone.
just let me just test the Imperious curse on him. Jump on the table. Jump on the table. No, I don't want
Oh
to.
yeah, and he banged his head on the desk.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But it implies that it's like a similar experience to the Vila, maybe. Like the sensation that you get that you want to do something. Maybe it's like Vila magic.
Yeah.
And Voldemort, so he's doing all this stuff, and then he starts bragging. He goes, "Oh, I wonder what it's like to die. I don't know how to, I don't know what dying feels like because I've never died. None of us have. Why are you bragging about that? None of us here have died, have we? It's like bragging that you've got legs. We've all got legs. Well, that's not a boast. Oh, I've never known what it's like to die. Who has? Who has in this room? Tell me. Who has? Huh?
People in his wand.
Yeah, all right, people in your want. Fair enough.
You got Wormtail's hand running round like Thing from Adam's Family.
Yeah. Oh yeah, undoing all the bondage.
Mm. It's good that Voldemort knows about hide and seek.
Where's he learnt that?
Who's been playing hide and seek with Voldemort?
He can't have had that bad a childhood, can he? Hey, how about blind man's buff? Not doing that, Voldemort.
What is this, Harry Potter? Is it Kiss Chase? Did you ever play Kiss Chase at school?
No, never kiss chase. When we played one game called Beat the Code, where basically you had two teams and each one had their own code, and the idea was you had to like hit them until they told you what the code was.
Yeah, what did
It
we
was
call
horrible.
that? We called that like, I don't know, suburban prisoner or something.
Suburban prisoner.
um, or was it called Vigilante or something like that? But Kiss
Something
Chase,
like that,
I
yeah.
remember people playing it, but no one ever got kissed. It was essentially Tig with a bit of
Yeah.
tension at the end where they'd run off.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
Mm.
How's Voldemort knowing about all these childhood games? Stop running away, Harry. This isn't tip on lines. What?
Mm.
How's he know about that?
Come on, English Bulldogs has been banned at this school. British
What's the damn
Bulldogs.
going on
British
about?
Bulldogs.
Don't know.
British Bulldogs. They banned British
Bit of Wink
Bulldogs because
McMurdo.
people kept running into each other.
Yeah. But really, it's not a bad game, is it? You just have to be fast.
It's getting past kids.
Get past them, don't you?
Yeah.
So they start having this like duel, don't they? It's like a going one way or the other, and suddenly, like all these people that Voldemort have killed come back. So first of all, it's Wormtail's hand, then it's Cedric Diggory, then it's the caretaker. Surprise, surprise! All these people from his life coming back to see him.
Mm.
all the way from the afterlife. It's the woman you murdered. It's Bertha Jorkins. Hey! Bloody hell, Scylla, have you got in touch with her? I mean, they do it. It made me because they do it in order, don't they? Because then it's mum and dad, and it made me like confused because. But then they would be the last people he probably killed, wouldn't they? After
Mm,
Bertha Jorkins. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? And then he had like a 14-year gap.
Mm.
Unless like a couple of unicorns turn up and Professor Quirrell.
They'd Quirrell had come out of Harry's hands.
Oh yeah, imagine. Right, I'll get him. It's not an even fight, Quirrell. There's you against my mum and dad, Bertha Jorkins, some unicorns, and a hand. Think you're going to win, do you? Although, to be fair, there'd be a basilisk as well, wouldn't there? Out of Harry's wand. Why aren't they turning up?
Maybe because Voldemort's not in peril danger.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe because evil doesn't help evil, only good helps good.
Yeah, that's a good thought, isn't it?
Mm.
Maybe evil doesn't help evil. Good only helps good.
Although birds of a feather do flock together.
Yeah. Birds of a feather do flock together.
Fleather?
Clever. Tom always magnifies my fluffs by repeating them with a confused tone. He
You
don't, he
tried
don't
to
let it carry on.
you tried to get me the other week. I said enamelled because it's funny to say enamelled instead of enamoured, and you, like I'm some dithering old nana, corrected me. You went, yes, yes, he was enamoured, wasn't he? Come on, pal, I'm helping you out here. You've got wee all down your khaki trousers. Everyone's looking at you.
Come on, Nana, you know it's not enamelled.
I invite all listeners to, instead of saying enamoured, say enamelled, because it's a real good test of friendship. And to test how intelligent your friends think you are, because some people will smile and go, they know what they're doing. Other ones will look worried for you and correct you on a podcast.
And I am the latter, apparently.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, what an action-packed final sequence.
Mm.
You know, and he's like running away and he's like shooting spells behind him and stuff, and the Death Eaters are coming after him and jumping about. It's all very exciting. What do you reckon?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
It made me happy. It does take
Well,
me
it's meant to
back
be.
to those times of being a kid where you're surrounded by people you don't know and you do feel vulnerable. Perhaps that is the theme of
Hmm.
this episode: vulnerability. Harry is at the complete mercy of Voldemort himself, as well as all these
Yeah.
Death Eaters. But would any of these Death Eaters attempt to kill Harry Potter? I feel like half of them are quite wishy-washy. Like, like the sidekicks
Yeah.
of bullies, but on a grand scale, aren't they?
Well, I know, especially when you've got like Crab and Goyle's dads who
They're,
just
they're
seem to
just,
be there to flex their muscles.
they're scared. They know they're in too deep. They know they have to continue so long as Voldemort is alive, apart from what's she called? Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh yeah, but she's in Azkaban, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. And what's he called? Barty Crouch Jr. Yeah.
Junior.
Junior. Right. How many ghost hands of a rat are you going to give this chapter out of 5?
I enjoyed this chapter. It was a shorty, but it was a bit of fun. We got a bit more Voldemort. We've not really had a good chunk of Voldemort ever, really, apart from the first book and maybe the second one of his 16-year-old self. But yeah, we've had a couple of chapters of pure Big Daddy V action. I've enjoyed it. Harry, once again, kind of proving himself. He seems to be not luck this time. A lot of times he's been saved by luck or he's been helped. But this seems to be him standing on his own two little feet and defending himself. So I really enjoyed this chapter. I'm going to give it a nearly perfect, but not quite, 4.5 ghost hands of a rat out of 5.
Nearly perfect? How can you be nearly perfect? Like this.
Like this.
For me, this truly was a chilling chapter. Harry was face to face with sudden death, perhaps, that could have fallen upon him, if not for the ghostly figures to appear out of the ether. Yeah. Luckily, Harry had good on his side. I was proud of him in this chapter. Nothing annoyed me about him. He did what was right. He got Cedric's body. He Acio'd the cup, and he whizzed out of there, living to fight another day. We truly are out of our childhood years. The Dark Lord is back. And for that reason, I give this chapter 5 ghostly hands of a rat out of 5.
Wonderful.
Right. Are you ready for quiz? Quizzicky?
Yes.
Quizzicky?
Quiz, quoo.
Gonna ask you some
questions. How well will
you do? Quizzicky? Quiz.
Can I ask you about Harry Potter, Lukas? How well will you do? Blow you a kiss.
What shook, question 1, under Harry?
The ground.
No, his injured leg. Question 2, What dilated on Voldemort?
His eyes.
His nostrils.
Pupils.
Too late, you said eyes. Question 3, how did James Potter come out of Voldemort's wand?
God, the trick of these questions.
They're not.
Did he squeeze out of it?
He squeezed out. He blossomed.
Yeah.
Question 4. What was the last word of the chapter?
Hogwarts.
Back. And question 5. Question 5. How was James Potter's hair described?
Untidy.
Yes. Unfortunately, Mr. Kirkby, you have lost the quiz. Quiz. Gonna ask you some questions. How well will you do?
Quiz.
Can I ask you about Harry Potter, Lukas? How well will you be?
I'll blow you a kiss. And now it is time for the nation's second favourite segment. You've guessed it. It's Hedwig's Droppings. We're not alluding to owl poo. We're not alluding to ploppings. We mean the messages you send in when we allude to Hedwig's Droppings. What's in a beak this week, Cheap? Well, we have Hedwig's beak full to the brim of letters this week. And the first one is from Tim Bond on the website. So Tim Bond says, I've been listening to the podcast on Spotify since watching your live show in Brighton in May and just caught up to the episode where you mention it. After listening to half of the pod, I was worried you weren't going to mention it, but when you did, poor Tom says he wasn't well received. I can say on behalf of me and my girlfriend that you were both incredible and hilarious. Tom's stand-up routine had me dying with laughter, and the Pottervision show itself was bringing up belly laughs and snorts galore. Looking forward to catching up with the weekly releases of the podcast. Keep it up, Potter boys!
That's lovely.
What do you think of that? That's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've had another message on Instagram from Paul Speed. He says, I'm currently crumbling on a sun lounger in Magaluf, and your podcast is bringing me unbridled joy in these hungover times. Lovely, Paul Speed. Please
My
remember
kind,
that fact of 50.
my kind of lad.
And then we've had a couple of messages from a brother and sister separately.
That's lovely.
So we've had a message on the website from Karina Gallagher. And Karina says, I recently discovered Pottervision after watching Tom on TikTok. I introduced my brother Paul to it too, and we are coming to watch the show at the Fringe. Just wanted to say we love the podcast. It makes us cry with laughter to the point where I have to turn it off if I'm on public transport. Looking forward to seeing the show in August. And then Paul
It's
messaged us on Instagram saying, Hello. My sister recommended your podcast 2 weeks ago, and I have been listening ever since. I love the way you decipher each chapter, and it makes me happy when you call out Harry on his shit, because I often think he's one of the worst characters of the franchise. My sister and I are coming to see you in Edinburgh next month and can't wait. You guys are really funny. Love the podcast. So thank you very much, Paul and Karina.
I love it when
And
people say they, they,
finally,
they can't listen to it on public transport. Because what I think they
yeah,
should do is just literally take your earphones out and play it on loud for
yeah,
everyone else so they can hear.
yeah, I think so. Let everyone else in on the joke, eh?
Yeah.
And finally, we must welcome a brand new Patreon member who's supporting us. It's a baby Draco, and it's Grace Hyde.
Grace Hyde. Right. Grace Hyde, you are being babysat by the nanny from. You are being babysat from the nanny from Tweety and Sylvester for some reason. That. Tweety and Sylvester are running around, messing around, and in their chaos, they knock you out the window. You're in one of them New York City high-rises from the 1960s, and you tumble and tumble and tumble towards a building site. You land in a cement mixer and are churned and churned and churned into the cement. You are poured into the into the brickwork of a building where you are set in stone for 40 years. Somehow, let's say it's one of them. It's one of them films where the Looney Tunes act alongside adult people, like Space Jam. I am transported into the world of the Looney Tunes. I sense your peril, although you've been in there for 50 years. I take a pickaxe, run to this city, and start axing at the wall, releasing you in all your glory. I raise you up, blow the dust off your skin, dip you in some water, and mwah, 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 mwah.
Tom lives in a terrace. Imagine hearing this from next door.
I know, I was thinking that as I was doing it.
Once a week you hear that. Well, that was Hedwig's Droppings. This has been the Pottervision podcast. Thank you so much for listening and or watching. We are going to be at the Fringe very, very soon. We're there from the 4th till the 24th of August, every day at 1:30. We would love to see you there. We are also doing a preview with brand new scenes on the 28th of July in Manchester. We would love to see you there for that. And also, please support us on Patreon. There are loads of bonus episodes. And by the time this is released, our latest bonus episode will be on there. And that is of Stuart Little. We watched Stuart Little, the movie. There's also the live show in video form. There's video versions of the podcast, early access to the episodes, all sorts of stuff. And you can get things like posters, keyrings, stickers, video messages from us, personal ones, if you don't mind me saying. So just go to patreon.com/Pottervision. Otherwise, you can support us by giving us a 5-star review, spreading the word. Why not make it this week that you go and tell a friend about the Pottervision podcast? Or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Next week, we will be on episode 92, and it's chapter 35 of The Goblet of Fire, Veritaserum. You have been none other than Tom Lawrenson.
And you have been an audio version of Lukas Kirkby.
Goodbye.
Pottervision.